Hello, folks. Have you ever wondered if you slipped into another dimension or it's really popular right now, the Mandela effect and other universes. What is it? Not parallel universes. Okay. So I had an experience as a child. I had lots of experiences. My favorite place that I ever lived was called 2000 Felter Road, and that was in Healdsburg, California, way out in the country. And at the time, there's still not a lot of neighbors, but they've built up a little bit there. Um, but our neighbors, you couldn't see them from our house either direction, and we had one more neighbor up the road, and that's where it ended. And it wasn't, you know, that was it. And they didn't. It's funny because they were elderly. They raised rabbits. I guess they were retired, and I just remember them watching Dialing for Dollars. There was a movie at the time, and um, that was a program, and they would show a movie, and if you got called, then um, you won money. So that's what they did, hoping to win that money. All right, I digress. So I used to just wander around our property and other property, basically. I had the great childhood there because down below we had the creek, whatever you want to call it, and up above was the mountains. And this particular day, I decided to travel the creek, and I was by myself. Grade school, because you could do that back then. Probably wouldn't suggest it today, and you know keeping a little bit tighter reins maybe on children is more important now. And something could have happened to me and nobody would have known probably, but there's nothing greater as a child being able to just explore and use your imagination. It's amazing. Okay, so I was walking up the creek, and I walked for a very long time. I just wanted to see where it went to, how far it went. Because as a child, you don't know where it ends, or, you think that it comes to an end or at the ocean or something like that. And, so I'm walking and walking and walking. And I'm stopping to catch pollywogs and salamanders, and my favorite was crawdads. Oh my gosh, I tried time and time and time again to get crawdads. Now, if you don't know what a crawdad is, it's like a little lobster, but much smaller. And when they swim backwards, and they just shoot backwards real fast. So you kind of want to try to go up behind them if you can, and then put your hand or something in front and a net behind in order to catch them. But I didn't have a net. I was just, trying to catch them. Didn't happen. Couldn't catch them with hands. Um, it wasn't going to happen. They were too clever, too quick, too fast. Now, pollywogs, on the other hand, we'd catch those and we'd build a little swimming pond, right on the outer banks of the water of the creek, where you could, you just put water in that and just as many pollywogs as possible. And I remember just studying them and looking at their little legs and trying to determine when they were going to turn into frogs. It was amazing. Salamanders were not my favorite. I didn't really want to catch them with my hands so much. I did catch lizards. The tails, they would, in case you don't know, if you catch a lizard by the tail, they shed their tail because their tail will grow back. So all of a sudden, you don't have them no more. And then we had bluebelly lizards, and I do not know the scientific name for it. I'm sharing this because these are truly happy childhood memories. But as a child, some strange things happened with me, and I still remember to this day. And it wasn't my imagination. These things happened. I know now at my age. I know what I know. I know what I saw. I know what I experienced, and nobody's going to convince me otherwise that, oh, you were just a child and it was your imagination. No, I was walking a very, very long walk. And I don't know, this is where, I still think I have, guardian angels that help me. But before maybe that happened or whatever happened, I felt like I walked into an alternate universe, and it was just suddenly. And at the time, as a child, I was kind of praying and talking to God. I was just walking along and just talking out loud. I'm by myself, so that's what you do. Nobody can hear, so why not talk out loud? And I just felt like all of a sudden look up. And when I looked up, and I hit this different atmosphere. I felt it. I knew something was completely different. I walked into a different realm somehow. All of a sudden I'm surrounded by a different feeling, folks. This was different. And when I looked up, all I saw were these just gigantic, enormous bunches of what appear to be grapes. And that's wine country, but back then wine country was not popular. Um, it just wasn't. It just wasn't. We grew grapes. People grew grapes, but this, and to top it off, there was this enormous arch, like a bridge, going over the creek, whichever you prefer, and they were just hanging, and I was thinking of Babylonia. I don't know why. Again, at this point, I'm in the first or second grade. I'm not even 12 years old or something like that. But I was an avid reader. I was pretty good. I I enjoyed my Bible stories. My grandparents and would take me to church every Sunday, and I went to Sunday school, and so we would color these pictures and stuff. But all of a sudden, one of these pictures kind of came to life, but it was for real. I saw all this and these beautiful flowers and greenery, and a few birds, not like fairy tale, like just what you'd normally see flying over. Um, but the minute I wanted to get up there to get those grapes, to the left and to the right of me on the banks, all of a sudden were brambles and blackberry bushes that just, I couldn't, there's no way I could climb up through them to get to the grapes. And the strange thing is that the blackberries weren't there yet. They weren't, I'm not sure why the grapes, maybe the season had ended or something, but I wasn't seeing the berries, but I was, I was definitely seeing the thorns. So, and then all of a sudden, I hear a pop or feel a pop, and I'm turned around to go back home, and I turn around and I just don't know where it went. I don't see it anymore. It's all gone. How did it just disappear? And it was like a time warp or something. And I don't know how to, somebody help me make sense of this. I don't know what happened, other than I know that it happened. For a moment, I was back in time. I felt like in a different era, or maybe it was the future, but there was an abundance of these enormous clusters of grapes growing, and the berry bushes, if there were berries on them, they would be huge too. Um, and then it wasn't there. And I wanted to go up there so bad. I wanted to, and I do. Oh, the other thought was, instead of walking back through the water in the creek, and there's rocks and there's logs, and it takes time. It's not like there's just this little pathway. It's all natural. So I was thinking about walking up on the bank and just trying to take a shortcut home too as well. And that wasn't happening. I had to walk the creek for a while. And I can't help but think, like, was there something dangerous up there? Because we have mountain lions, we have bears, we have rattlesnakes. This was, back then they were, I remember when, I guess the last grizzly bear had been shot, but now we know that black bears and grizzlies are really, it doesn't matter. A bear is a bear is a bear. So they were there. And the mountain lions, oh my gosh, they were also around. So I felt like, again, once again, I was being protected. It just wasn't my time to go for whatever reason. Do you have an experience like that, similar, or do you have something completely different? Did I go into a different world? Did I, Was it just, was it my imagination? I don't think so. I remember the disappointment and the confusion and not understanding what just happened. So, if you have a story to share with me, I would like you to email it to me at mecalgal, MECALGAL, at gmail.com. Don't worry about spelling. Don't worry about anything else. All I want is your truth, though. This is Dare Tell Darla, and we're not wanting fiction. We're wanting your truth. And I don't care if we tickle the words a little bit, make it a little bit more exciting. That's fine, but let's keep it to the truth. And I hope to hear from you soon. And if you haven't hit the like button or the subscribe button or the share button, oh my gosh, share these stories. That would be great. Because then, YouTube hits that algorithm and it goes around and around. And if I don't get the likes or the shares, then, or the subscribes, then YouTube says, oh, it's not fascinating enough. It's not fun enough. But I think there's somebody out there that would enjoy these stories. I mean, I hope there's one person or two, or actually preferably more. All right, folks. See you soon. MeCalGal, gmail.com. You can remain anonymous. All right. See you soon.